it's 2026. How to move to Germany as an au pair in 2026. So welcome back to my channel. I hope you're fine. You as well. It's been 5 years since I moved to Germany as an au pair, and things have changed. I'm now a software engineer. But yes, how did I move to Germany 5 years ago? And how to move to Germany now? What's the difference? So 5 years ago, it took me 2 weeks. 2 weeks to find a host family, to get my paperwork, to get an appointment at the embassy, and to start my au pair journey. Right now, in most African countries, to become an au pair, you need to go on the waiting list. And some waiting lists are almost 2.5 years. So 2.5 years you are waiting on a waiting list to become an au pair. So things have definitely changed. But before we start about even the embassy, how do you become an au pair? So to become an au pair, interestingly, you don't need a lot of things. For example, you need to have your A1 language certificate. Secondly, you need to have your passport, and that's it. Later, they ask you to have a certificate of good conduct, but basically that's all you need to become an au pair. So now I have my certificate, my A1, I have my document. How do I become an au pair in Germany? One of the requirements you need to be without kids, you need to be below 26 years of age. And then if you fit in this bracket, then you need to find a host family. Then comes the big question: how do I get a host family that's gonna take me in to be their au pair? So first and foremost, you get the host family. You have to use different platforms. Right now, au pair is so trending. There are so many host families, and there's so many host families looking for au pairs, but they are almost even more, they are not almost, they are definitely more au pairs. So hundreds and hundreds of people want to become au pairs. It means that competition is high. When I became an au pair 5 years ago, it was easy because there were not so many families. So I had lots of options. I could pick where I wanted to go. But right now, it's not the case. There are many au pairs and there are not as many families. Meaning, to become an au pair, you need to use so many platforms. So currently in 2026, one of the best ways to find au pair host family, which wasn't there, is the Facebook groups. So there are so many au pair Facebook groups. Au pair, if you want, in Germany, in Denmark, in Netherlands, there are so many au pair Facebook groups, and you need to join there. And when you join there, you can be able to find families. And then the other second thing where people are getting most of their au pair host families, that's aupair.com. So aupair.com is a website where you can be able to look for au pair host families and so on and so forth. The other one is aupair.World. So this is also another website where you can be able to go and find families and just find opportunities. So these are the main websites that you can use, and the main opportunities. So yes, it's still very possible. Au pair is still one of the easiest ways you can be able to move to Europe. But guys, I know so many people are focusing, and most of my followers want to go to Germany, but you have to also know that there are other countries in Europe where you can be an au pair. And the best part, some of these countries don't even require a language certificate. For example, in Denmark, if you speak English, you are good to go to become an au pair. For example, the Netherlands, this is also another country where you don't need any language certificate. As long as you speak one of their main languages. For example, if you speak Dutch, if you speak English, you can be able to become an au pair. And for example, in Denmark, you can be an au pair till 30 years. In Germany, the maximum number of age you can be an au pair is just 26. So yes, don't tie yourself that here I only want to be an au pair in Germany. If not in Germany, then I won't do it. So that's not true. That's not correct. You can be an au pair in other countries too. So what is then the process? So the process is that, yes, before anything else, if you want to be an au pair in Germany, for example, join the waiting list. Even before you get your language certificate, join the waiting list, and then after getting that waiting list, then start looking for a family. For other countries like Denmark and Netherlands, They don't have a waiting list, so you can directly look at their visa appointments and see when you can get a visa appointment. And then try looking for a family. Use the websites that I mentioned before. Try to be writing the family original messages. Don't use AI. Don't choose just one template. Hello, can I be your au pair? Write the family intentional messages. Try to understand them. Use their names, read their profile, and use the names when you're writing them, so that they can feel that you are personalizing them. You're not just copying and pasting the same thing to 100 families. And then the other thing is that try to write as many families as possible. That's actually very, very, very important. Try to write as many families as possible, and then you have like a bigger net. You have like a bigger net of people that you're talking to. And then once you get a family, they'll send you a contract. But this is very important. Be very critical of what's in your contract. Yes, many families here in Germany are trying very, very, very hard to misuse their au pairs. They are trying so hard to misuse their au pairs. So you need to look at your contract. If your contract says you work from Monday to Friday, 8 hours a day, don't go above that. Don't let them make you do other things. I know of a girl whose au pair house family, they made her now start working in their cafeteria. She was washing dishes and stuff like this. Make sure in your contract they mention clearly how much money you'll be paid, and make sure you are paid this money. Another thing, make sure they mention the language course fee. This is mandatory. All families have it, so make sure they mention it, and make sure they actually take you to the language school. This is also very, very, very important. And once everything is okay, once they send you the contract, make sure they have the health insurance, the family does all that, then they'll just send you the confirmation of here are your documents, and then immediately you go to the embassy on your appointment date, and normally in 1 or 2 weeks you get back your visa and you fly here. People ask, do families pay for your flights? It depends. If you get a family who wants to, they do it, but they don't have to. They're not required to do it. Your visa and flight money is your responsibility, but some families do it. If you get a family which does it well, and good for you, but don't be expecting it, please. Don't be like, yeah, they have to do it for me. No, they don't have to do it. So yes, is there any extra questions about au pair or any more deep details? Right now in 2026, there are so many agencies. If you're looking for agency, send me, put it in the comment section. I can be able to recommend to you a very nice agency. So yes, it's possible to get an agency. There are so many agencies, but you make sure you're not scammed. Make sure you get a good, trustable agent that will be able to get you a family and not steal your money from you. Be very careful, because I know some agencies scam people, but there are also some nice ones. And if in case for example, your appointment date is closed, you can't find something, you're on the wall, you can use an agent and they can be able to help you. But yes, as I said before, this is also something you can be able to do on your own. Yeah, so I wait for your comment in the comment section if you have something about the au pair program that you've not understood. Thank you.